Football Show presented by the Chevy Silverado, the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. NFL Week 15, Dan and Dave. Deion is back, and Coach of the Year. I mean,
Second time. My second Coach of the Year.
Second Coach of the Year, and the SWAC champion.
They're calling me Cody around here. That's what they call me now. Cody, C-O-T-Y, Coach of the Year.
And you won the SWAC championship last week. You're playing this week in the Celebration Bowl, and I've been told it's sold out in Atlanta. Is this true?
So, that's what we do. We sell out things. We sell out things, but I'm upset that these two dear friends of mine are in my head in the middle of the game because they challenged me and they barrage, whatever the word is, so much about going for third and short, fourth and short, and we were about on the 40-yard line going in, and we had a situation where it was fourth and one. Why am I thinking about them in the middle of a darn game?
Probably why you're Coach of the Year. If you can't gain a yard, then you shouldn't be on the field.
You know what? There's a lot of truth to that. And I looked down there, I said, what do you got? Do you have something? He said, yeah. I said, are you going to get it? Yeah. I said, you better get it. You better get it. It was that exchange. But I'm thinking about, why am I thinking about you guys in the middle of a darn game, man? Just you guys are just up there in my head.
Honestly, you need really smart TV watchers and then a good football guy, and you combine that brain, and that's how you get like a supreme head coach, honestly.
So are you guys like all co-coaches of the year?
Well, I would say that we probably deserve at least some recognition in the Coach of the Year. I assume you're giving a speech at some point, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you definitely in the speech.
Yeah.
You guys are definitely in the speech.
We'll throw out there.
The game goes slower for people watching on TV. Mm-hmm. So a head coach should always have like a window to a TV guy. The game slows down.
It's
true.
Like
we're in the booth from every angle.
This actually happened on Sunday Night Football. Matt Nagy punted on 4th and inches, and afterwards on Monday he was like, "Yeah, I'd like to have that one back. I kind of didn't prepare for that." It's like, well, everyone in America knew you should go for it there. So it's true. It's the guys sitting on the couches have some knowledge.
The game goes slow on the couch.
Yes. So congratulations to both of you too for winning Coach of the Year with Deion. Deion, the Celebration Bowl this weekend against South Carolina State. How are you feeling about it? How's your team feeling about it?
I'm feeling really good. We've had great practices. Our last practice today before we depart. Tomorrow I'm giving a day off. We travel. We just have a walkthrough. So we're feeling really good. I'm not a betting guy, so I never look at the line. I expect my dear friends to let me know what is it, so I can make sure I satisfy their needs in every way.
Well, what is the celebrate? What is the celebrate?
It's like the Black Bowl game. That's pretty much what it is. It's the MEAC versus the SWAC in the championship.
And it's in Mercedes-Benz, right?
Yeah, it's in my old house.
10.5-point favorites. You better win.
But here's the thing.
You better win.
Here's the thing, guys, though. When this airs, this game's already over. So you guys have to make predictions like you did for the.
No, they're going to win. They're going to win easily.
Yeah, I think they win big. I'm banned. That's the stadium I'm banned
I like
from.
that.
Yeah, Deion, he can't.
How are you banned from that?
That's where I got dragged out in handcuffs at the Super Bowl.
How many things are you banned from?
Well, it's all
I know what to invite you to.
That's all like one related thing, but I got I think a 10-year ban from the Mercedes-Benz in Georgia.
Wow.
So
that's when I remember that. That's when you went with the limp legs.
Correct. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
That was a very good year. Okay, so we look at the records from last week. Rico did a stand-in for you, Deion. I heard you say before we started the show that Rico did you dirty last week, you think?
Yeah, 9-5. I'm better than 9-5. Big Cat was 11-3. I don't like that.
Yeah, and Deion, now you only have a 3-game lead on Dan, so it is closing in.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Does that make you nervous?
No, because see, Dan is going to have to play it straight. See, now he was just radically just picking things, just trying to catch up that he really didn't believe in. Now he's just going to have to pick the ones he really believes in.
I believe in everything I say.
No, you don't.
There's a lot of dumb shit in there, but I believe in everything I say. The moment I say
not your picks.
I actually think it.
And you did say on Twitter that when people hate you for your picks, you say you hate yourself more. So that's
it's like people were getting on me because I bet on the Cardinals last night, and they're like, "I hate you." I was like, "Well, guess what, dude? I hate myself way more."
And I hate myself on that one more than anybody.
Right,
that
exactly.
was my last gasp.
You know who hates him? You know who hates Big Cat? Big Cat because he fucking screwed himself.
It's self-awareness when you just fucking hate yourself.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
You guys are beautiful.
I knew that was a loss though when you said you liked tweet.
I know, and I should have been like, this makes no sense. Go the other way.
The interception in the end zone was what did
He
it.
played terrible. Kyler had a very bad game.
He's short. He's too short.
You should have known something when all the Rams were out right before the game. You should have known they were going to win. Like, right then and there, something stupid is going to happen tonight because how many times does that happen? Your key players, right before the game, probably driving over to the game, you find out they're ineligible to play.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about both of those teams in just a little bit. All right, so let's get into the storyline games of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. It's hardworking and the design is big, bold, and commanding. The Silverado is a truck that turns heads. We will start with the Titans at the Steelers. Deion, before we even get to this game, as a coach, I have to know what you thought about what Chase Claypool did last week on first down.
As a coach, I would have benched him. I probably would have benched him a little earlier.
He did.
Because he was just going through a whole series of nonsense, and you knew it was going to lead up to that. He should have been benched earlier in the game.
He was. That's the
Well,
craziest
how did
part.
How did he get back in the game?
I know. Tomlin benched him
and then brought him back.
Yeah, they benched
You know what's
him and they needed
crazy?
to bring him back.
It was
Yeah.
obviously an idiotic move, but he was right that it wouldn't have cost them anything if the lineman didn't go knock the football. Now, the lineman was trying to hustle, but his answer was correct. Like, it happens so fast. If the ball doesn't get knocked away, no one's talking about it. Well, he's an idiot. But, he's an idiot.
It's just tough when it's like just becomes viral on the internet.
I thought it, you know
Yeah.
what? You know what I almost thought was worse, to be honest, was Big Ben's answer when it's like, that's not my job to talk to. It's like, dude, you've been on the team for 20
Big Ben don't
years.
care.
You're the
Big Ben
leader
is
of this
checked out.
team.
Right.
How can
No,
you
he's not. He's not the leader of this team. Big Ben checked out a long,
But that-
long,
He
long
played
time
well
ago.
down the stretch.
That's a
No. I'm not talking about playing, guys. I just privy to.
Yeah, but that's a disgusting
He checked out
answer.
a long time. Disgusting.
I mean,
First of all, to be the highest paid player on the team and supposed to be, that's why I don't like those C's on those guys' chests. Man, snatch that mess off because you're not a captain, you're not the leader, you're not the guy. You checked out a long time ago. When they start getting rid of all the other players, that's what you blamed it on, but you wanted them out, but you hadn't won since they got rid of all those guys. It was ridiculous.
At the very least, if you don't want to talk about it, just be like, we handle it in the locker room. But I mean, what? It's
Right.
just like, that's not my job. I just, what? From that position for a guy who's been there that long, disgusting answer.
especially to just say it publicly, because now everybody's like, he just doesn't give a fuck. But looking at the
You know,
Titans, Dan.
I'm going with the Titans.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Titans.
Deion's going with the Titans. Dan, and the Titans,
Excuse me.
9-4. They won against the Jags. They stink though. But where do we put the Titans?
I'm
right now?
taking the Steelers in this game just because I always think Mike Tomlin, whenever he needs a game very badly, and they
He
need
wins
this
it.
game very badly, they win. So I don't know. TJ Watt's probably hurt. That definitely hurts them a lot. Titans have a million injuries. Just give me the Steelers. Anytime you get Tomlin in a chance where he can be like, rah, rah, we're underdogs at home, that's Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin thrives off that.
I will say, Tomlin's starting to get a long leash in my mind. Like, I mean, he kind of lost the locker room at the end of the AB era, and he seemingly is losing the locker room again.
I flipped on that. I thought that, but then Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown are so crazy. I actually think that he should deserve more credit.
So
for
why do
keeping
they
it
keep
together?
ending up, though, with these crazy guys like Claypool?
Yeah, I mean, Claypool is just immature.
Because
That's
he's
less
like
crazy,
a father
more
figure,
mature.
guys. Like you only take risk on those guys like that. First of all, you do your homework. You know what you're getting into. You take risk on guys like that because you're betting that you can fix it. The problem is with the pros, which I don't like, is how can you fix a guy with millions of dollars? I could fix a guy in college because he's trying to get to the next level. You can't fix a guy with millions of dollars. Ain't no way in the world. Because he's just going to feel like I'll go somewhere else and make money.
Okay, but if you use that analogy comparison, and again, not to go full Patriot, but like I don't remember issues like this with Belichick ever.
Belichick don't play that. He's a character guy. That's why I love him. Nick Saban are character guys. That's why I love him.
So then how's
they
Tomlin
do their
keep-
Well,
homework.
I think part of it is what you said with Big Ben. I think Tom Brady would hold his team a lot more accountable than Big Ben does. I think there's got to be a relationship with coach and quarterback where there's the quarterback is also the coach of these guys and keeps them in check.
But you
They're
also
character
over
guys.
like it feels like Tomlin holds on to these guys long. Like Belichick, you start hearing rumblings of guys, and then all of a sudden there's a release on
They're
the
gone.
field. It's like
Right.
this
They're
guy
gone.
just got
They're
caught.
gone. Because
Right.
he's not going to tolerate it. He has character guys.
No, that's a little bit on Tomlin. I got the Titans here. I think the Steelers know they're kind of out of it and physical game. I don't know. I just don't see them bouncing back here.
Let's go Bengals at Broncos, both 7-6, both fighting for the playoffs, Dave. I know we've been a Joe Burrow show. We like Joe Burrow a lot. What are you thinking about this game? The Broncos are still sneaky good somehow.
Broncos, the weirdest 7-6 team of all time. I'm going to take them here at home. I think that's still one of the harder places to play in the NFL, so I'll take the Broncos.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos as well. I just think that they found a formula. It's not a flashy formula. If the Broncos have to play a team that's significantly better than them, they can't beat them. But when it comes to teams kind of on their level, they have the run the ball, play good defense, conservative football, Vic Fangio. So I think that I think they'll run on the Bengals.
And Deion, they had a really emotional game last week too. They obviously killed the Lions. What are you thinking about this week?
Oh, wow. You know what? The difference of this game to me, and people are not mentioning it, Teddy Bridgewater is really playing good football.
Deion, he's one of the most underrated. He's
that's what I mean.
He is a guy that you can win with, and
Right.
I think you can win a Super Bowl if you have the right team around Teddy Bridgewater.
He's not going to lose it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
He's not going to lose the game for you.
Earpiece thing is driving me nuts.
He's not going to lose the game for you, and no one gives him credit. They bounce him around the league. I know he's injured a bit, but Teddy Bridgewater is going to keep you in the right situation. He's not going to cost you the game. If they could just stay in the game with the Broncos, Teddy Bridgewater will win it in the end. I'm picking the Broncos.
I might switch my pick real quick because
Okay.
I think the Bengals' rush defense has played better than I gave them credit for.
Are you looking at
yeah,
that
I'm taking the
rushing
Bengals.
stat?
I'm taking the Bengals.
Switching
Yeah,
it to the
you look-
Bengals.
Switching to the Bengals. Their rush defense played a lot. I was surprised. I just looked it up. Their rush defense played better than I had thought. So I think they'll keep this close. And Joe Burrow, I love Joe Burrow. The way they came back in that game against the 49ers, like I know they lost, but Joe Burrow is a guy, he's got all the intangibles, and he just won't ever give up on a game.
I like Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Burrow too.
Everybody likes Burrow, right?
Everyone likes Burrow.
Yeah, everybody likes Joe Burrow. We all gave picks, right? Are you guys all
Yeah,
gave
I'm
picks?
taking the Bengals.
Okay,
I switched.
Just making sure. He's switched. All right, the Green Bay Packers at the Ravens. Lamar got injured last week. I'm just going to go ahead and serve this one up to Dave because I can already
Serve
see.
this one up.
I'm serving
Dave,
it up.
you know what? I'm leaning back with Dave. See, Dave don't realize that this has been some personal discussions for me, and I'm starting to. I hate to say it, man. I'm starting to see some holes in the game. I'm starting to see some things I don't like, but this is what I think it's about. I don't think it's about on the field. I think it's about that bag, getting that bag, getting that 100 or something or 200 million, and the pressure of that is unbelievable right now because he's doing things that's uncharacteristic of himself. Has played much better in the past, and right now I see him missing reads. I see him holding on to the ball. I don't see him being the guy that was that MVP caliber guy. I don't see that right now, and I'm praying that he gets back to that because this team they're trending the other way.
Yeah, they are definitely trending the other way. Again, I really think there's something to a running quarterback having success early, more success early than they do as the years go on. So, and I take no pleasure in it. Again, I say it. I think the guy's a competitor, wants to win. I just never have thought he's that guy. I think the Packers win this game on the road. It was interesting seeing how the Ravens played when he went down. And, there's an unpredictability in the NFL, and I know it's like old school, but running quarterbacks, I don't know, it's great, but you want the running quarterback that is the Aaron Rodgers style of run, that he can run time to time, but you don't want it to be the lead guy.
Well, can extend you get your first down. Dave, what you're really saying, you like him, but you don't love him. That's really what you don't love him. You like him.
Lamar was put on a level that I just never thought he belonged on in terms of premier quarterbacks. And to be honest, watching Kyler play the other night, it's like he's doing some things that make me very nervous looking long-term on his career because you can't teach height, even though it doesn't always matter, but things like that. And then you look at the other guys. Like, I still would rather, and I know the game changes everything, give me a Peyton Manning. Obviously, I'm picking the best of the best. A Marino, a Brady, guys that don't have tremendous mobility, but pocket awareness and kind of game managery type guys more than anything else.
Aaron Rodgers. Give me Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah,
a
he's
guy
great.
that can avoid, that can maneuver enough to get
And
past the rush, but not a runner.
And the same goes with Kansas City. I mean, that's what he is. That's what Mahomes
Guys,
is. Mahomes can move.
Same thing goes with me. You know why what are we 11-1, 10-1? You know why, guys? We get a lead. And guess what? Nobody can throw. Nobody can throw to catch up.
Right.
So I tell my guys during every week, hey guys, I just need 21 points. Defense ain't giving them nothing. Our defense is stout. No one can throw to catch up. And until they start getting quarterbacks in the SWAC that can throw to catch up, I'm going to be Cody every year.
You thought he was talking about himself.
I don't know.
didn't
You just turned that into a Coach of the Year rant, which I'm all for. But I do think there's not. Lamar's stats always seem to come when they're. And what happened with them the other day? They fall behind, then. But the game changes. You catch up, you still lose. I'm taking the Packers here.
Dan, obviously not a fun Sunday night football game for
No.
you, but you knew that was going to happen.
First half was fun. Matt Nagy said he was having fun at halftime.
Good for him.
Like, that was
That's
great.
nice-
yeah.
that's nice for him.
How is that guy still there?
I mean,
like-
because the Bears have never. It's one of those things, old school football, like, charter franchise. They have never once in the 100-year history of the franchise fired a coach in the middle of the season.
It's one of those.
So that's like they're holding on to it as some bullshit, like, we don't fire coaches in the middle of the season, when he should have been fired a long time.
It's been 100 years already?
Yeah, I mean, it's 100 years, 101 years.
Well, then you can get rid of it if you win 100 years.
You just
one
never
of those
fire
things
anyone.
at Barstool that you never know totally. Like we have obviously Dan and the Chicago guys. So I'm seeing Nagy always pop up in my feed.
Right.
Like it's everywhere.
Right, you see our anger all the
Yes.
time.
Right. So it's
Yes.
like this guy, and you don't know if we didn't have that Chicago, or you'd be that in tune.
I think you'd still see it. He says some really dumb. What was
He does
his
say
quote?
some dumb shit.
I'm going to give you his quote. It was an all-time, like, how does this guy work?
Guys
how
been
does he have
playing
a
music
job?
with chairs with how many quarterbacks this year, man? You got
Well,
to
there's
give him
been
a
injuries.
break.
All right, so here it is.
Who's going to win with 3 quarterbacks?
Matt Nagy talking about the 4th and inches in the fourth
that.
quarter when he punted. He said, "You wish you would have went for it." That's the part where you look back as a coach and
can't
you
say
go, "Damn,
You
that
can't
would have
say
been a
that.
time to do that."
You
You're
can't
the
say that
fucking
as a
head
coach.
coach. You can't say
I
you
know
wish
better than
we
that.
would have. You
You
would have
can't do
went
that.
for it. He also has blamed. It's no one's fault but everyone's fault. So either way, we shouldn't even talk about the Bears because they're a joke of a franchise. I'm actually going to take a little bit of a softer approach on Lamar Jackson. I do not think that he's in that top 5 elite quarterbacks, but I also will just acknowledge the fact that the Ravens have had an insane amount of injuries, like an insane amount of injuries. So it's not been easy for him this year. The Packers are rolling.
Right.
Rodgers got his swag. All I'm doing now is I'm basically like going to sleep and waking up on NFC Championship Sunday and hoping that history keeps repeating itself and he loses that game. That's all I have because they are a very complete team. I put my list of teams that I think can win the Super Bowl. It's Bucks, Packers, Cowboys, Chiefs, and Patriots. And that's it. So
The Cowboys are not in it.
No,
to me. I like your list, but the
listen.
Cowboys aren't in it.
Listen, the Cowboys' defense is now healthy. That pass rush, you said it
They're
yourself.
not.
Micah Parsons
Yeah.
could be MVP.
He's a freak.
That
He's a
pass
freak.
rush is going to start wrecking teams if they stay healthy.
Yeah, they're
Deion.
finally all back together.
Yeah.
You
I don't
see,
like it.
You see who I met Saturday?
Who's that?
I would say, would I say he's the number 1 Cowboy of all time? He's got to be up there. He's got to be close. Roger Staubach.
You know what? You talking about a great guy. Yeah, I did see that. You talking about a great guy,
Yeah.
a great human being. He's a great human being. He really is. I like, he and Troy to me are just.
Yeah, I'd say Troy or Emmett are probably
It's
Like,
an
up
older
there.
thing,
Yeah.
but he's got
Yeah.
like his nickname's Captain America. I
Yeah.
said, so we're at Army Navy,
yeah.
and his family, he has a lot of young kids. They're all Barstool. They asked me, I said, there's probably, I don't know who it would be, a very small list, and Dan can probably attest he's been similar. That'd be like, yep, I'm going to get out of my seat, walk
Yeah.
across the stadium to go
Yes.
meet
Yeah.
this guy.
Yes,
He's on that
absolutely
list.
on there. Yep.
So you went to that game.
Yeah, Oh,
Yeah.
Army Navy is like one of my favorite sporting
I
events there is.
watched the whole game. You know what I watched in the whole game? 2 things. First of all, I told Under Armour, we want the same treatment that you give them. Their uniforms are unbelievable and
Yep.
their cleats are matched.
So good.
But the line for both teams, you talking about firing off the ball, going at it, blocking to the whistle. Those guys are so disciplined. It's like a how-to tape for an offensive lineman.
Yeah. No, people
Yeah.
will sometimes
Unbelievable.
rag on it and be like, "Oh, it looks like high school football, no passes." I love it. I think it's
I
fun
love
football,
it.
especially just how unique it is.
And there's something wildly pure about guys. Like
Yeah.
I always get chills during the speech that they give. It's the only game, you know. They all cry at the end, and then they're on the most important
Love it.
team there is together, going
I
off
love
risking
it,
their
man.
lives. There's something very pure. Like I get chills even talking about, but the speeches, the whole thing. Outside Patriots Super Bowls, it's the favorite sporting event I've ever been to. I love it.
I love when they show their headshots and they're in the military guard. I love it. I watch and all the commercials
Everything.
during the game is unbelievable. I watched the whole thing
When
from
we
start
went
to
in
finish.
2019, the thing the guy said that gave me chills was like, this is the only game of the year where everybody playing on the field is willing to die for everybody watching the game.
100%.
Like that's.
Oh my God! Now
Yeah.
listen,
That's insane.
I just want it in a dome. I don't like when it's snowing and raining and nasty. I don't
I
like
kind of
that.
like it for those guys.
I don't like it. I want them to
kinda
have a
like it.
pure game.
Although I would like
a
if
real
they did
pure
it in,
game.
like San Diego, so we go to San Diego for a weekend.
That's true. That's true. All right, we'll get to some more games in just a little bit, but let's go to hashtag I believe. Speaking of the Bucs, Dan, you said that you believe they will be the #1 seed in the NFC. They
Yep.
had that crazy game against the Bills on Sunday in overtime win.
Yeah, I was close to not having this kind of blow up in my face because if they had lost that game, it would have been very tough. But yeah, the Bucs are rolling. They're kind of peaking at the right time. I think my new I believe will be off of this. I think after the craziness of this entire season, we're going to just end up with Bucs Chiefs Super Bowl. It's just going to be a rematch, Bucs Chiefs.
That'd be awesome.
That's going to be Bucs Chiefs Super Bowl.
That would be insane. I mean, and at this point, Tom Brady's won the MVP for most people, right? I mean,
Yeah,
he's
like
not
I said, I think it's between him and Rodgers, and it's just whoever's going to get the 1 seed will probably end up being. It's a stupid award how they decide it like that.
Dave, you said you're the smartest football. Now, this word on here is prognosticator. And I think, I don't know what word you used.
That's right.
That is right? Okay.
Yeah.
I think
well,
yeah.
but the Cardinals lost, which I didn't see coming. I was 1-2 in big games last week, so I got to subtract that. I will say, I hated, if we watched the end of the Bills game, the fade. Call they had at I don't like that fade. I know coaches like going to it, but when you have Josh Allen who's running up and down the field,
He was so good.
let him run and make a decision. I actually, as much as I love the Patriots, they had a close-up of Josh Allen walking off the field, and you could see the pain on his face. And if I'm a Bills fan, that endears him to me. That makes me love him. Not all the guys have that, where, like, a lot of times at the end of these games, you see guys smiling and hugging and doing that, which, as a fan, he looked like he wanted to puke, which I love.
I was actually watching that game with people that aren't my friends who are Bills fans, and they were like basically crying at the end of the game.
That
they
play
were,
call, man, on the what was it? It was,
I don't know if it's it was Stephon Diggs on the left side with they had like 3rd and 2 on the 6.
yeah, terrible.
No. Guys, from a coach's perspective, you got Stephon Diggs, your best receiver, and you got probably your 3rd best, 4th best, 5th best corner. And not only are you looking for the game-winning catch, or the game-tying catch, whatever the situation was at that time.
Would have been winning.
But winning. But you're looking for the PI.
Yeah.
You're looking for the PI. And the
You know what,
quarterback did a
though?
great job.
Speaking of
He
that,
did a great
Stephon
job.
Diggs really, I don't know why it didn't become a bigger deal. That one play where he burned his guy and he got his shirt tugged, and he looked at the ref for a flag and then looked back and the ball dropped right in front of him. He basically stopped playing the play trying to get a flag, and it would have been probably a touchdown.
But Deion, your best player is your quarterback. They can't stop him on the ground. What do you want?
He was running all
You're not
over.
going to run. You're not getting 6 yards down there.
But
Yeah, I
as a
love-
quarterback.
you only need 2, I think, for first down.
Yeah, any play. It's similar to the Cardinals on Monday
You're
night.
not-
When they need that
but
4th down.
Yeah, but look who
Get
you
Kyler
got.
in
You got a
space.
quarterback, but that not against that defense. Their strength is here. Their weakness is the secondary.
See, this is where
that's
this
where the
is
Bucs
where-
are.
This is
This is
here it
where
is.
we are smarter
This is where
because
it's like he's
Here
coaching
we
the
go.
other
coaches
Here we
fall in
go.
love with that fade.
We
No,
should
no,
give
no.
ourselves an award, like
You
smarter
could get
than
a
the coach of the
penalty.
year.
No, the fade.
You
the fade.
got your
bigger
best
brains.
player.
The fade
best
is
receiver.
the most. The fade is the most overused play.
It's
near
so
the goal line.
antiquated. It's so
And you know how we
stupid.
know it, Dan? When we throw the fade, we're like, okay, good.
Yeah,
like,
right. Right.
Well, that, like
Because
that
you're
is-
going to get one or two. You're going to get the catch or you're going to get PI.
No,
you're
just
going to get
wrong.
one of them.
Give me
You're
a
wrong.
quick slant over a fade all day.
You're not
we're-
going to get a slant. You
Deion,
can forget the
all
slant
day.
in that
If
situation.
we're doing this show 10 years in the future, that will be one of those things that coaches don't do that much, and we'll be like, we told you 10 years ago.
Yeah, we'll
Yep.
do like
Nah.
the black and white, like
the
rewind. and
fade
this'll-
would never
this'll come
die
up.
because
No, the fade will fade.
the
The fade
fade
will
advanced. The fade
will
advanced to
fade.
the back shoulder fade.
The
It
fade will
used to
fade.
be the fade.
No,
Now
the
it's the
fade will
back
fade.
shoulder fade.
No.
It's going to progress.
The fade will fade.
And antiquate, I don't know what you're talking about, by the
Yeah.
way. Antiquate.
It'll go away.
Slant with your number one is unguardable.
100%.
That don't work anymore in America.
Oh, you didn't see your boy Odell last night?
By the way,
That guy
I
one
said
on
that.
one.
I've been waiting for him. Oh, my
that was the
God.
setup.
We are-
That was the setup.
We are gonna
That
talk
was
about
the
that
setup.
game. We
Thank
are-
you, Big Cat, for taking that bait.
God
I
damn
knew
it.
you would take that bait.
Can he tone it down for one fucking second?
Odell.
Can he?
Odell.
This guy, all he
Odell.
likes to do is dance and celebrate.
We're going to talk about that game in a
Odell.
little bit.
But I
so
don't have
just-
an I believe. I have a belief that I'm broke. How's that?
You're just broke?
I'm broke. I ran out of money.
How much do you believe that's Brandon Walker's fault?
100%.
It's all.
There you go.
I took my account from 300 grand to 1.6 million to zero. And it's gone
Wow.
from zero the second Walker got involved.
Okay.
I'm not mad at him anymore. He paid his penance, but it's his fault. And Dan fucking rubbed it in the nail this past week. No, he didn't know, but so I had Washington. That was my first of my threesome, and they're just getting killed.
Yep.
And the line moved. I had him plus 6.5. And I'd like to say 6.5 to lie, just to make it worse, but I am 6. I turned the game off. I'm watching Dune. By the way, good luck figuring out what's going on in Dune. Impossible movie to follow. But I'm watching Dune, turn the game off, but I'm following it. And I know the Redskins, Washington Football Club is making a comeback, but I don't want to turn on, change the mojo. And I get it, and I know they're down. They cut it to 13. I'm plus 6. So I know that. And they score, and then I get a text like 5-7 minutes after, and it's Dan being like, are you watching the game? So I go to the score app, and if you go to the score app, you see the plays scoring first. I'm reading pick 6 Washington. I'm like, fuck, I'm pushing now. I go up, I'm like, oh, they haven't kicked the extra point yet. I'm waiting for the extra point to flip. It never clicks. I'm like, what the fuck? They went for 2? I didn't understand it. Then I turn, Dan's like, watch the game. I turn the game on, first play, Heineke drops the ball.
I would do that text a million times out of a million times.
If you knew what the spread was?
Yeah, because it was not about the spread. It was not about the. First of all, I didn't know. I had it at 4.5. I
But
did
if
not
you
have it
knew
at
the
6.
spread,
I still think I would have done it.
even after the missed extra point?
Yes, because I didn't text you after the missed extra point. I texted you when they stopped them and got the ball back. I agree. Texting you after the missed extra point would be crazy because you're not covering, like, the Cowboys have the ball, the game's probably going to end. I texted you when the Cowboys punted it, so you now have the ball and a chance to score.
Literally, the first play just drops the ball.
I almost did it again on Monday night because I didn't know if you turned
These
that
guys
game
are
off
classic.
after the onside kick. I was going to text you being like, did you turn it off? Because same situation. They had the ball, chance to score.
I didn't know they had that.
They got the onside kick. So
How much time did they have?
like 45 seconds. I was going to text you
45
again, and I didn't, but I should have because they
No,
literally
because-
recovered
no,
it,
no,
and they
but
had
I-
a chance to score.
All right, that one may have been all right that they were in the game, but the one what you can see, I'm reading pick 6 Washington is like, oh my God, I got out of this. And then I'm like, where's the extra point?
was
I'm looking
blocked.
around. I'm like,
Yeah, it
where
was
the hell
blocked.
is the
Blocked.
extra point?
It was.
Blocked.
Dion, you see what we deal with in the gambling cave?
Love
It's brutal. It's brutal.
I
There's a
know.
lot, dude.
Love
It's,
it.
listen,
I love it.
my stress level is at an all-time high, just like trying to get games over the line.
And I feel like I was right on that game. Like Dallas isn't.
No,
that-
you weren't.
No,
No,
I
you
was.
were not.
Washington.
You weren't right on that.
Look, listen, Dion. Another thing.
No,
if
the
you have us,
opposite.
if you have us plugged in here, Washington on that play that the Micah Parsons fumble 6, I was screaming, call timeout. They're at the line. 5, 4. They're scrambling. I would have been in your ear. None of that happens.
Right.
Because
Right.
the game
that was bad.
slows down when you're watching on TV. Listen, I was a powder puff coach. Do you know what that is, Dion?
Yeah,
of the year.
Powder Puff. I heard you won the championship with the girls.
The most my high school's been around for 150 years. When I was the coach, we scored the most points in the history of the game. But the game sped up. It was going faster than we still managed, but it goes slower on TV. It does.
So you didn't throw the fade when you was playing Powder
You
Puff?
never
You
throw
threw
the fade. Never throw the
Fade
fade.
sucks.
You fade the fade.
Especially Diggs is not a fade guy. He's not a big guy. Throw like
That's
fake the
slant.
fade and throw like a back shoulder bullet, or just let your quarterback who's 6'8" and runs like the fastest 40 I've ever seen. He runs away from guys.
He's not getting in the end zone from 6
You
yards
didn't
out.
have to get in the end zone. You need 2 yards for a first down.
Yeah, but he got to run 8 yards to get that. You're 6 yards or 5 yards in the backfield in the shotgun. It's not going
Get
to
it
work.
all day.
Who you playing in the Celebration Bowl?
It's not South Carolina State.
I almost want to contact that coach and be like, let me get in your ear and let's see what happens.
I think this is my favorite I believe we've had over the last 2 seasons. Dave is broke. It's Brandon Walker's fault, and he's going to be calling South Carolina State. Okay, so Deion, last week Rico said the Lions will win. Obviously, they did not.
Idiots.
No, I don't know what he's thinking about.
That was not a good pick from him. So we'll just throw that away. What is your I believe for this week?
I believe if Micah Parsons, if he balls out these next few games, he could challenge those guys for the MVP.
No chance.
Because he's a rookie and he's doing it. If he gets to 15, 16 sacks, he's going to challenge those guys
He'll
for the
be in
MVP.
the conversation.
And
then I don't know how you say
way.
that and then scoff at me saying the Cowboys have what it takes to win the Super Bowl.
They don't have what it takes to win the Super Bowl, but
what
he
are they
has what it
missing?
takes.
Tell me what they're missing.
Head coach.
Consistency.
Head coach,
Consistency.
that's fair. I'll take that as a criticism, but I think their
Consistency.
defense and offense has everything they need.
They're not consistent.
Okay.
None of those are consistent.
And yeah, Mike
now,
McCarthy is not a Super Bowl.
The reason I ride with Dave, the reason I ride with Dave on his antics and what he believes is because one thing about the darn Patriots, they're consistent, man. The defense is consistent and the quarterback is consistent. And I like the head coach consistent. Cowboys don't have that. The offense is inconsistent and the defense is inconsistent. That's not a Super Bowl caliber team.
They could have lost it. They led them back. They couldn't get a first down when they needed. And to be honest, I don't know what Heineke was doing there. He just dropped the ball.
And Mike McCarthy saying like before the game how confident he was and stuff. You can't be doing that. You just cannot be doing it.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
He guaranteed to win.
He guaranteed to win.
He can.
I don't think he can.
You don't guarantee to win Week 14 against Taylor Heineke. You're probably going to get that win anyway.
Guarantee that. Everybody believes it. They just don't say it.
Just wait.
Everybody believes it.
Save your guarantee.
Yeah, it's using the.
If Dave was the head coach, Dave every week he'd be saying, "We're going to win."
Well, he would say he was confident, but
Dave would say he's going to win.
The G word is very.
I guaranteed that Powder Puff victory, and I said I would walk home from the opposing stadium if we didn't win. That's in print. It's in print.
Yeah.
The G word is very,
we all
very
believe
important.
that. Case, we all believe that. We just don't say it.
That's true, but using the word guarantee before the game is tough because if you lose, then you kind of you look like an asshole. Let's get to.
You're gonna look like that anyway if you lose.
That's true. It's time for the Sunday conversation. Let's send it over to Caleb and Glennie, who sit down with Bert Kreischer.
Albert Kreischer.
Albert Charles Kreischer III. Mm-hmm. It's over. No more.
Really?
Yeah, I had girls.
That was on purpose?
No. The look on my face when they told me my first daughter was a girl was so real.
But it's better than your first daughter being a guy, isn't it?
They said it's a girl, and I went, fuck. There was all women in the room. Oh, yeah, 2 girls.
You played yourself. You played yourself.
I only play myself. I'm better at playing myself than anything else.
What's the movie called?
The Machine.
We've got a new segment I'm thinking about.
Okay.
I'm just thinking about a new segment.
Okay.
Just to be honest.
Yeah.
Thinking about a new segment.
Okay.
The new segment is called Range Rover.
All right.
You just played yourself in an upcoming film.
Yep.
But your fans are worried, does this guy have range?
I have great range.
I have great range. So
Range Rover, I love this. Okay, keep going.
So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna give you a singular line.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give you different characters for you to say that line as.
Okay. There's something wrong with these people, and I think I know what it is. Yeah. Okay.
So read that, but say it, but as yourself.
There's something wrong with these people. I think I know what it is.
Next one.
Okay.
Next character. Colombian drug lord.
Oh, I'm loving this bit. Okay, hey. All right. Hey, there's something wrong with these people, but I think I know what it is. Okay, next character.
That's good.
Next character.
Okay, third, final character.
Final, I'm just getting warmed up.
You want to do one more?
Yeah, 2 more. I want 2 more. I'm getting in. Go.
Okay, third character just met an alien species, right? You are an alien species.
Okay.
And this is not your first encounter with humans, but this is your first encounter with Earth humans.
Okay. And you are an alien too, and I'm talking to you,
Yeah.
correct?
There's something wrong with these people, but I think I know what it is.
Give me another one.
All right, let me think of one more. You're a racist.
Okay, the game's over.
You got range. There's no doubt about it. Bert Kreischer's got range.
I'm an actor, right?
Some of the best actors have played racist, though, Bert Kreischer. That's true. There's nothing wrong with that segment. It's acting.
Dude, can I get a dude wipe?
Of course.
Thank you, man.
Always need a dude
That
wipe.
looks so good.
There we go.
Thank you.
They're one of our top sponsors.
Oh, they're a sponsor?
They're our only sponsor.
No way. So such a natural moment for two dudes to clean up.
You love to booze, don't you? You love to drink.
I do.
You booze till you snooze.
Dude, let me tell you something. I will never quit drinking. I will never quit drinking. I will always make sure that I can keep my body healthy enough so that I can always drink. I love seeing a sunrise with a cocktail, seeing a sunset with a cocktail, having friends walk into your house with a bottle of wine, getting on a plane. Can I get you something? Double Jack on the rocks, lots of rocks. I love the moment someone says, "Hey, we should get a drink," and you're not supposed to. That feeling, it's like a first kiss. You don't get that first kisses when you're married. You get to have those first drinks. At a brunch, someone goes, "Should we do mimosas?" And then the waiter goes, "Actually, we have bottomless mimosas." And you're like, "This is gonna be the best day ever."
Dude, you just hyped me the fuck up. You just hyped me up, bro. That was like a locker room speech.
Yeah.
It's pretty inspirational.
I should speak at AA meetings.
But drinking's complicated.
It is.
Jesus Christ himself, his first miracle, turned water to wine.
Oh, it's a good miracle.
First miracle. But then Jesus Christ himself died by getting hammered. And that's true, isn't it?
It is. It's not for not everyone. Not everyone can keep up the pace of like real racehorses. I've lost a lot of friends to sobriety. This Birdie Boy Relapse Tour goes on until April. We just announced a bunch of new tour dates. You can get your tickets at bertbertbert.com. I'm always promoting.
It's time for the Ain't Nobody Care game of the week, and fellas, it is a disgusting game, as our producer put on here. It's just a crime against humanity. It's even being on television. It's the Jags and the Texans. And Dan,
Oh my God.
I know you've been talking about Urban Meyer all week. Urban Meyer, his handshake with Mike Vrabel, just the saddest shit I've ever seen in my life.
I mean,
Are they buddies? Aren't they both like Ohio
no,
State
I don't think
guys? They
Vrabel
don't
likes
like
him.
him.
No.
I mean, it was sad. It was a
Urban
sad
Meyer,
sight.
he had a closed door meeting with his coaches, called them all losers. Said
He denied that. He denied that.
No, he did that though, Deion.
No,
You
he
know did
denied that.
Don't
No, I don't
defend
know.
Urban. Someone
He denied that.
Someone said to me yesterday, like, because Urban Meyer, he also had a quote. I think on Monday they were asking him about a defensive player, and they're like, "Yeah, we're trying to get him in more." Like you saw that Sunday, he had like 0 snaps, so he doesn't even know who's playing for his team anymore. And someone was like, he's getting close to being a sympathetic figure. No. Urban Meyer can do nothing to become a sympathetic
Nothing.
figure. Nothing. This guy deserves this team and the way everything's going down. They are dead men walking. Give me the Texans, because I think the Texans might like their head coach. They hate Urban Meyer.
They were talking about there was like run-ins with players over the last couple weeks.
He's a
like,
bad guy.
Dion,
bad guy.
do you?
Well, I'm going to try to defend him without knowing all of above. There's
Good
no
coach.
way, to me, a coach could sit up there and say, all you guys is losers when you assembled the staff.
Right.
That I could imagine going in the room next to us and say, all you guys are losers. And I'm the one who picked every last one of the coaches.
LeBron does that every time they
That
win
is
3
true.
games in a row.
That's true. And
That's
by
not
the
true.
way, Dion, the staff that he assembled.
LeBron has not done that, and you know that.
LeBron
never
literally,
seen a quicker
LeBron has not done
Trade
that.
the second they struggle, it's everyone's fault. The coach is gone, the players
He
gone.
never say everybody losers.
When you
Can we get back
when
on the
you play
subject?
with LeBron, he's basically like, hey, if you miss a shot, you better have your house up for sale.
I don't know if I've
Well,
ever seen your
he
head.
should.
that
He's the
was
one who got him on the team.
All right.
I
either
don't
way,
think he
Urban-
called them losers. And
He
now,
did.
knowing how much every player plays, ain't nobody knows that. Ain't nobody.
But the guy
know
played
that.
0 snaps. James
Yeah,
Robinson
but you
is their
don't know
best
that.
player.
You
He
don't-
had 4
you don't.
carries.
Urban Meyer's been a joke this whole season. Like, he put out that, like, motivational poster in week 2. Like, this is he's just a laughing stock, Deion, at this point.
I think it's more than what he expected. Because the pro game is totally different. When you're in college, you can threaten them, you can do that. Pros, you can't. He's a grown man making salaries, they got contracts. It don't work. It don't work with them at times. It does not work. That's why I would never coach in the pros. Never in my life.
I was going to ask you that next question.
Never.
Yeah, it's totally.
Never.
I think what you said is totally true and what you said in the beginning. And who knows? There's an element of, I think, in the pros of what you just said. If you can win in the pros, so again, a Belichick, guys go there and they may like him, they may not like him, but they know he's going to put them in the best position to win, and not only that, get a bigger contract. Like, you look at the guys, you go play New England, and he makes everybody look good. He makes them in the best position to not only win, but to get a next big payday. So they're willing to do that. With no proven record, your rah-rah in college just doesn't work. It does not work. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It's hard to believe when you say the Texans are in much better shape than the Jacksonville. You just don't know. And you don't know the competitive spirit of a guy like Urban, where the more people say you can't, are you going to try to stick around, or are you going to do a Saban where you're like, I'm out of it? And by the way, I think Saban would have eventually been successful in the NFL, because he doesn't strike me. He and Belichick strike me as like super similar type guys, whereas Urban Meyer is much more into the rah-rah stuff to me.
Like, so you think he will or will not?
I think he's going to stick around.
Yeah, I mean, obviously all the big college jobs are gone now anyways, so if he was going to try to leave, it wouldn't matter. But, I mean, I think you're right, Dan. I think that Houston maybe likes their coach. But, I mean, Deion, before we move on from this, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, obviously he's had a really tough year. What are you thinking about him moving forward?
Well, I said that to begin with. Trevor Lawrence, I love Trevor Lawrence. I like him. But he's always, even in high school, they put the best players around him. And you go to the next level in college, you get some of the best players around you. And you never see who you really are, because you've always had the best players around you. That's probably why a lot of the Alabama quarterbacks has never fared well in the NFL. Never. They've never.
Asterisks.
Tua.
Who?
Mac Miller.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, now. What I'm saying
agree,
now.
I agree.
But in the history, they hadn't, because they had the best players around them.
And
now, you're dealing with a situation where he don't have the best players around him, and he's a rookie, and he has a new staff, and everything is just blowing up and imploding right in his face. I think the kid is good. He's going to be okay. But he got to get past this season, man, mentally and emotionally. It's got to be hard for him.
Yeah, that's the question, because really there is no rookie quarterback that comes in like as the number one pick and really does great. I mean, you look at Aikman, obviously, how bad he was because they stunk, but he was obviously great and they get better. But, you know, he had Jimmy Johnson and they got all his draft picks and the team instantly got very good around him. This is how guys die. And a guy like Trevor Lawrence, we may never know if he's stuck in this situation that stinks. It's impossible to judge him. The game that worries me, which we all know, is the national championship, in which he had the worst game I've ever seen anybody have, which to me is a red flag. You don't want the number one guy to have his worst game in his biggest game, but you really can't judge him in this situation.
Well, saying that, Dave, you gotta give the Giants quarterbacks and the Jets quarterbacks a pass too if you're gonna do that, because those guys are in the same situation. Like, it's a roller coaster of quarterbacks who look horrible, but they were great draft picks, and all of them look horrible.
Listen, I think there is, for sure, more than any other sport, the only sport really, basketball, baseball, you can do your own. There's something to be said with that. For sure, if Tom Brady, who I think is the best of all time, was drafted by the Jets, I don't think he's Tom Brady. Like, he doesn't get that. And there could be some other guys who, if they landed with the Patriots, have great careers. They may not have been Brady, but the situation matters. And by the way, you can say the same with Belichick. In football, I don't care how good you are. If you don't have an offensive line, wide receiver, you be the best of all time, you're not going to be good. That's football.
That's right.
And he also doesn't have a good head coach. So Trevor Lawrence just has absolutely
nothing. I'm not ready to say Urban's not a good coach.
I'm not going to say Urban's not a good coach.
He's a great Hall of Fame, all-time college football coach. He's not in the NFL.
So far,
I'm not
clearly.
going to say he's not a good coach.
I never
think he's
thought,
a
he's
good
a
coach.
great college
I
coach.
never wavered. I never thought he was going to be a good NFL coach. He's
Yes.
one of those guys that it's his way or the highway. Like you say, Saban and Belichick. Saban and Belichick. The similarity between those two guys is they adapt. They know that
No,
year to
is
year
this
they
their
can
way
change.
or the highway? Is
Right.
their way or the highway? Those two guys now.
But they adapt.
Is their way or the highway?
They win different ways. Like you've seen it both with Saban and Belichick. They've had crazy offenses. They've had crazy defenses. They've played ball control. Urban seems like a guy who's like, this is my system, and everyone get on board. That doesn't work in the
They don't
NFL.
have the Big Cat. They don't have the players, man. I don't care how good a coach you
No,
are.
I
You don't
know,
have the players, you
but
can
they
forget
also
it.
have quit. Like if you see, like the guys were running the same route, knocking into each other. They're not running James Robinson.
You got to get rid of them then. This
whole
is like
thing is a mess.
evaluation year. You got to get rid of them then. You got to get rid of them and get guys who you want, who you know could do the job.
But what Dan is saying is 100% the truth with Belichick. He is an amoeba coach. He doesn't go into anything thinking this is my. He doesn't have a system.
And that's Saban too. Saban,
They got a system,
they
guys.
have the.
What,
they have
what,
the
what
clip.
is Belichick's system?
Belichick has a system, guys. Like
Right.
Belichick, what I'm saying, he's so smart that he gets the best out of the players that he has, but he picks the players to be able to utilize and do what he wants to do
I
with
agree
them.
with that.
He
likes-
has a system.
He likes
Yes,
guys.
has
who
a
can-
system.
He likes guys
But
who
he'll
can play
change.
multiple.
He plays to his team's strengths. Like Saban is the exact.
True.
Is a perfect example.
True.
Saban won his first 3 national titles, 4 national titles with Bama, playing defense with guys like Greg McElroy and
Mm-hmm.
Blake Sims, all these guys. Now what has he done? He sees the way the college football is going, the spread offense.
He changed it.
All their offenses are electric. They had one of the best offenses of all time last year. So it's that ability to change on the fly and be like, hey, I don't know it all. I'm going to change what I do. I just think Urban, he's a stubborn guy, unbelievable college football coach. If he wanted to go back to college, 95% of the programs would want him.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow. Not a good
True.
NFL coach.
Absolutely.
Just be ready, Deion. When you end up at a big time Division I, you better take out 1,000 ads in the paper on leaving. Like, I mean, I would give you I want that on the record. I was the first guy that not when you tried to credit
Rich Eisen.
Rich Eisen. I was the first
True,
guy.
true,
First
true.
guy.
You're
like,
right.
Division
You're
I.
right.
And by the way, you're built
For
with
NIL.
this new transfer
Yeah, you were the
portal.
original
It's like
NIL guy.
It's like you literally created the transfer portal just to suit your own needs.
And the NIL. You were talking NIL before NIL 30
Well,
years
Dave,
ago.
let me tell you guys this. Signing day is tomorrow. I'm going on record to tell you guys we're going to shock the country. I'm telling you right now, you've heard it from me. We're going to shock the country. You're not going to wait to air this what I'm saying.
All right, well, cut it. And
Yeah, I was
Every
gonna say,
news
cut it and put
station-
that out today.
Every news station, I promise you.
I know you have recruiters for you, but we were talking about like I don't know how anyone becomes a college coach now because the recruiting is just never ending. You never get a second
Yeah.
to breathe with this.
Yeah.
They're all 1-year employees and you got to re-recruit them every year. That for me, I'd be like, oh, too much.
You got to have a formula, Dave. You got to have a formula. Like my formula, and I ain't giving it away, but I'll tell you, my formula is 40% grad transfer, 40% portal, and 20% high school. That's my formula. That's how I go. I don't know how anybody else go, but that's how I go.
Yeah, but I'd also say, and this is where people will be like, Dave, you're like being a racist or whatever, so maybe we cut it. You're going to have a much better connection, I would think, than 90%. Like, you look at Chip Kelly, Brian
Kelly, oh.
dance. Like, you're very authentic. You've gone through you have what all these kids want, which is an NFL
appreciate
career that you made money and getting them to them. And it comes across, like when you see the Brian Kelly dances, it comes across as so unauthentic and fake. Everything you do comes across real. So it's a huge advantage in this recruiting world.
But what really happens, guys, and this is what bothers a lot of African-American guys, and I don't want to get into race. You see a lot of guys getting jobs that are not African-Americans. And rightfully so, these guys are good. I believe those guys are good. They deserve them because they come from winning programs. But guess who's doing all the recruiting? The black dudes that you never hear about.
Yeah.
They're the ones
That's
who are
why I
going
liked
into
what Notre
the
Dame
household.
did, yeah.
Yeah,
Marcus Freeman.
but those guys are the guys, we want them to, man, give them give them a tenth of what you make. Just put them out there so they could possibly be coaches one day. But you're not doing it because you're not going into households because your roster consists of 70 to 75% African American kids, and you're not doing that. So all those guys have a couple recruiters that can go get it. The reason I know that because I got a couple guys that really go get it, and I close.
So that's the part of what I'm saying where I just do not get how if you're a Division I program, and maybe you are, maybe you're gonna keep it close to the vest because I understand it's a very sensitive subject because you've built this program in 2 years to a power, but you look around the country. I don't know. Again, I don't know how
I appreciate you, my
AD
man.
wouldn't look directly at Deion and be like, this is a no-brainer.
And credit to you, you were the first one to ever say it.
He was.
Yeah.
He's my
well,
guy.
Honestly, it took 5 minutes of meeting him not to, again, be over the top. And you realize how smart he is, understands football, understands it. I don't know how someone could sit in a room and be like, oh, this guy is a game changer, but now he has the proof.
Very nice.
Yep.
That's
Two-time
very nice.
Cody.
Two-time Cody.
But now I'm going to
That's
get
my
called
guy.
people. His school does not like me saying that, even though I mean it as a total compliment. They're like, you're trying to steal Deion. I'm not trying to steal Deion.
All right, let's get to rapid fire games of the week. Rapid fire is presented by Cross Country Mortgage. When it comes to your mortgage, don't take any risks and go with the favorites over at Cross Country Mortgage. Even if you're not looking to buy a home right now, they can still help you out with a bunch of stuff like renegotiating your current loan terms. Go to crosscountrymortgage.com/barstool. Cross Country Mortgage can take care of you through the home buying process. Cross Country Mortgage LLC, NMLS 3029, all loans subject to underwriting approval. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Let's start with the Panthers at the Bills. And Deion, I will start with you. When Cam came back, he had that one game. He's talking about he's home. There's all the hype. He had one good game, and now he just absolutely stinks again.
Well, I don't know if Cam stinks. I think the team stinks.
No, he stinks.
He stinks.
Yeah, well,
No
he's
disrespect
not
to
the
him.
old
No
Cam.
disrespect.
I watched
He's not
every
the old
snap
Cam.
of that game because I've been
He's
on
not
the
no
Panthers.
Cam.
He was bad.
He's not no Cam. I like the Buffalo Bills, although they've been losing. What the comeback that they did in Tampa was unbelievable, man. This is a playoff caliber team, but they proved something to themselves that I think they felt like they lost. I like the Bills in this game.
Dave?
Totally agree. And I think the entire AFC, myself included, their team, if you can keep them out of the playoffs, and maybe it comes down to that Patriot-Bills game in New England, you do not want to play the Bills in the playoff because I do think they can beat anybody. And I do totally agree. It looked like, okay, the season's dead. And the way they came back, they are a team that will have to be dealt with if they make the playoffs.
Dan?
That's right.
The Bills are going to win this game. To show that I don't have an Urban bias, it's not an Urban Meyer bias, I think Matt Rule is equally in over his head. Firing offensive coordinator Joe Brady was a complete panic move. They went back and forth between Cam and P.J. Walker on Sunday. Made no sense. I think he's kind of losing it a little bit. So there you go. That's another guy. Go back to college. Very good college coach. Maybe doesn't have it for the NFL.
You know, Cam. If you look at Cam overall, one of the great talents probably ever. At quarterback.
I would make the argument he's the best college football player of all time.
No.
For our era, like Bo Jackson.
Herschel Walker's the best college football player of all time.
Those are before our era.
Cam Newton won a national championship with not a single pro on offense besides himself.
Herschel Walker was a killer.
Okay, so if you want to do 20 years, that's fine. He was that good. He was that good. That year was that special.
So I think you can argue all of it. He's just a guy. I honestly think what happened to Cam is the amount of punishment.
Yeah,
he took.
he's got injuries
broken.
that have taken away his. Yeah.
Dan, don't forget about Mike Vick, by the way, Dan.
Yeah, Mike Vick
was
incredible.
spectacular,
He
too.
was spectacular, but Cam accomplished.
Vince Young would be up there too.
Vince Young, sure.
Yeah, Mike Vick changed the darn game in college, man. He was ridiculous.
Let's go Cardinals at Lions. I assume this one's
Cardinals. That was a big
Cardinals,
loss for my
Cardinals,
NFC champion. Cardinals.
Cardinals across.
By that man, the Cardinals. If he doesn't throw that pick, I think they win
In the
that
first
game.
quarter, yes,
Yeah.
that changed the whole game.
The whole thing.
Yep.
The whole thing. Jets at Dolphins. Glennie has a weather update for us. Glenn, what you got?
Yeah, it is, of course, going to be like 80s in Miami down here in southern Florida, but it is going to be rainy all day. It's just letting you guys know, going to be one of those weird Florida rain days for Jets Dolphins.
Okay.
All right.
Dolphins just
Good job, Bo.
sneaking around the chicken coop. They're going to be 500 after this game. Do they still have one with the Bills?
I think they have one more. Yeah, I said this. This was one of my I believes a few weeks ago that they'll be 500.
We have them still,
Yeah.
and we in Miami, I believe, and we struggle there. So yeah, I like the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Deion?
Dolphins.
All
No
right.
way I'm picking the Jets.
Let's go Cowboys at Giants. Big game. Deion, what do you think?
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Close game.
Cowboys.
Close game, but Cowboys.
Mike Glennon. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Falcons at 49ers. Dan.
49ers. Easy.
Dave? Uh-oh. Why is there the
I
smirk?
don't blame you, Dave.
Why is there the
It's
smirk?
a good one.
There's this just screams kind of rat to me. Like the second you start thinking this, I'm gonna take the Falcons. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah. Rat.
Credit to them for being better than definitely better
The
than
Falcons
I thought.
are the middle of the pack team, the best middle of the pack team.
I'm looking right now. I have a
I
stat
think they're
on
the best
Falcons.
middle of the pack team.
Are you taking them, Deion?
No, definitely not taking them. You know I don't
that's
take the
true.
Falcons. They always break my heart.
So you're taking
They
the
always break my
49ers,
heart.
but you think that they're the best middle of the pack team.
I don't think I've hit one of my upset games. all
Yeah,
year.
yeah. Middle. You know what? Not San Diego. I'm sorry. LA Chargers is probably the best middle of the pack team.
The Falcons' point differential.
Falcons the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Point
Yeah,
differential is the worst in all the teams that are still not eliminated from the playoffs. So their point differential is only better than the Lions, the Jags, the Texans, and the Jets.
Gross.
So
Wow.
like they're a 6-7 is incredible because they found ways to win. But if you look under the hood, it's like that's not really a 6-7 team.
It's not really. So I'm telling you, they're the best, worst team
Oh,
ever.
we don't want to do that again.
Yeah,
We're
that
already
was
done
that was a long one last
Yeah.
year.
Yep. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Dave, are you sticking with the Falcons?
Yeah, I'm gonna
or-
stick with them.
All right.
Something's off with this game. I've been off on my off smells this year, but something's off with this game.
Okay. Let's go Saints at Bucks, Dave.
Bucks.
Dan.
Bucks.
Deion.
Bucks.
right.
Bucks.
And then Dan, I'm sorry, Monday Night Football.
It's crazy that we got another
You're
prime
tortured.
time game.
They're torturing you. The Vikings at the Bears, 8:15 on Monday night, national TV.
I mean, I'm going to sound stupid, but I think the Bears are going to win this game.
I don't think it's
Why
that
would you do?
stupid.
Why do you do this? Why do you do this?
Yeah, it just seems like a type of game they're going to win.
Then you don't
does.
have to do this, man.
I'm just being honest. I think they're going to win this game.
Vikings have had one of the weirder years in the league. I know Zim's your guy. Who'd they lose to?
Well,
They've
beat the
lost to
Steelers,
everybody
but
by
they
3
beat the
points.
Lions.
Like
Yeah,
they
they
lose
lost
to
the
everybody by
Lions.
2 or 3
They
points.
lost the Lions.
Like they've been in every game until the last possession. I think they have several last possession losses
Yeah.
this season.
I'm
I'm picking the Vikings.
I'm gonna take the Bears at home.
I
Don't
feel
do it,
bad
Dave.
for you, Dan.
No, it's
I really
fine.
do.
It's fine.
I
The
feel
season's
bad.
going to be over soon. Just deal with
And
it.
Matt Nagy will just be gone.
Yeah.
All right, before we get to the primetime picks of the week, let's go to the Fantasy Football Factory Minute with Ben Mintz and Stephen Shea.
What's up, fellas? I'm Ben Mintz,
And I'm KB No Swag.
and we are the hosts of the Fantasy Football Factory podcast. Well, we are for this week. Nick, who you starting?
Who am I going to start? I'm going to start Royce Freeman, Ben. Royce Freeman. Rex Burkhead is out. Royce Freeman got 8 targets last week, and he's playing the Jags. You know what happens when people play the Jags? They butt fuck them. They fuck them in the butt, Ben.
I'm riding the Golden Mormon Taysom Hill with his running and rushing value. He's at Tampa. It's a tough matchup, but he's been going off the last 2 weeks in fantasy. He does it again on Sunday night.
Benching Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney in a high-scoring game last week only got 19 yards. I don't trust him anymore after some solid performances before that. Benching him.
I'm benching DK Metcalf. I'm sorry, Ole Miss fans. He's been struggling. He's got a tough matchup against Jalen Ramsey on Sunday. Join us for Dear Mr. Fantasy at 11:30 Eastern on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. And gentlemen, it's time to clock out.
Time to close the show with the primetime pick of the week, which is presented by the Chevy Silverado. Dependable and gritty like the people who drive them. Anything is possible with the Silverado. All three of you guys winning last week. Dan, you had Seattle. Dave, you had the Broncos. Deion, you had the Titans. Dan, I will start with you.
I'm running out of teams.
But you already won the suit, so that's all that
Yeah,
matters.
that's true. That
You
is
each
all-
have 3 losses.
Yeah, I'm running out of teams.
Oh, that is interesting.
I'll take Cleveland.
Cleveland.
No, I've already taken Cleveland. I'll take Tampa Bay.
Okay, yeah, you have not taken Tampa Bay. Dave?
That's who I was gonna take, Tampa.
Tampa, okay. Deion?
That's an easy one for you guys. I'll take Minnesota.
Just making sure you haven't- Okay.
There we go.
I was just making sure, double checking. All right. Anything else?
Great show.
Great
Good
show.
Good luck on
Great show.
Saturday, Dion. I'm rooting
no,
for
Thank
you.
you, man. I
congratulations.
appreciate it. Hey,
Congratulations
we're
on
on
the win.
we're on
Yeah.
ABC too. Thank God they're finally putting us
let's
on a
go.
real
I'm gonna-
network.
Oh,
I might have to
We're on
make a
ABC.
responsible wager on that game now.
I
Yeah.
will
A
not be here
responsible
next
one?
week. I'll be in Mexico.
Yeah, so we'll have to decide. Maybe Rico or Jerry. We'll figure
Rico or
it out.
Jerry.
Where would you be?
I'm
Dave?
going to Mexico. Mexico.
What part?
Mexico.
What part? What part?
I can't even pronounce it. I'm just getting away. It's off the
He's just
grid.
hopping on a
that
plane
mean it's a
and
good
you
one.
won't
It's off
see
the
him.
grid.
Yeah, he
Off
needs
the-
to-
I'll get my
that mean
picks.
it's a good one.
I'll send my pick.
Yeah, you send your picks and we'll either have Rico or
Yeah.
Jerry. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
All right,
All right,
you
thanks,
deserve
Dale.
it, my man. You
Thanks.
deserve it.
See ya.
Don't bring nothing back from Mexico either.
No, I won't.
All right.